My love life sucks. Now, I gotta be honest. I don't know if it's all me that's the problem or what dating is like now, but here's one thing I stand by 100%. I believe that women should pay for the first date. Now, I know you think I'm crazy, but later in this episode, I'm gonna explain why I think that. But before we get into it, welcome back, everybody, to the Random PM podcast. I hope you're having a great day. I'm excited to be making this episode. The first one got a lot of good feedback. People were really excited and they liked, they said it was funny at some parts. I'm a little bit funny. And then it was relatable. Well, I don't know how it could be relatable. But they were like, yeah, that sucked. Your DoorDash driver got robbed. He got shot at. But you learn to live, laugh, love, move on, whatever people on Facebook are posting these days. But yeah, I'm going to keep making episodes until either y'all lose interest or I lose interest. But for right now, it seems to be popping off. So we're going to keep making episodes. If you like it and you want to see more, leave a comment, follow, leave a rating. I'm not going to do any marketing because honestly, I don't care how well the show does. Like, even if I become the next Joe Rogan, doesn't matter to me. But if you have a friend who you're like, hell yeah, I think they're going to like it, then go ahead and send it to them. But I don't want to keep this intro long. I need to get right into it. So dating for me has always been rough. Rough because one, I'm a little chopped, okay? I'm not the best looking guy out there. Although I know people are going to say that's pick me activity, but I'm not looking for compliments, okay? It's just true. And also, I'm not a very social guy. I don't like going out. If I could, I'd rather be home. Even if a 10 out of 10 girl invited me out, I'm staying home. I'm coming up with some kind of excuse. But I think my failure for romance or lack of a better word, just not being able to pick up girls started long ago. Now, we're not going to count elementary school, okay? I did have a few girls in elementary school, when I was in elementary school. Let's keep that straight. I had a few girls and it was fun, but those don't really count. They're your first fake love, you're together in the morning roundup or whatever you're doing, you're breaking up by lunch or recess. So it really didn't matter. The only time it started to matter was when I got into middle school. Now, I had a crush here or there, whatever, but the only one that really hurt, well, there was two that really hurt. I'm not going to say names, but I will tell the story. So for the first girl, for some reason, we were friends for a long time and everything was cool. And then one day, I guess Cupid shot me in the ass with an arrow, and I posted. Now, this was back when there was still Instagram and Snapchat, so I did, oh, voice crack, dang. Um, so they were both around, but for some reason, I posted her full government name on the Instagram and Snapchat and was like, I am in love with this girl. That I can't imagine how embarrassing that was for her. It completely ruined the friendship, and even to this day, she doesn't talk to me, and I can't blame her for that. Now, the other girl, she hurt me pretty deep, I'm not gonna lie. So in eighth grade, we had the eighth grade dance, and I was gonna ask this one girl to go. I did all the preparations. I took a shower, put on a clean shirt, put on jeans, and for a middle school kid, that's a lot of effort to ask for. I was smelling good, had the Axe body spray, and I was gonna ask her that day to go to the dance. I even had my friend, do some reconnaissance or whatever that word is to see if she would say yes. And he got back to me and he was like, yeah, bro, you're in the clear. You should go for it. So then apparently word got around because people don't know how to keep anything to themselves. And I get to the class that I have with her, and the two other people that sit at our table was like, hey, Devin, so I heard you were going to ask blank to the dance. And I was like, yeah, I was going to. And they go, "Oh, well, she's moving away before the dance happens." So I'm a little sad, but I mean, how can you get mad at somebody moving? You really can't. So it was whatever. So I go to the dance alone, sit in the corner. It's fine. I'm not sad about it. It is what it is. But then we get back to school the next day after the dance, and she's right there, sitting there, bright, looking as good as ever. And I'm like, yo, what the heck? I thought you moved. She came up with the story of moving so that way she didn't have to go to the dance with me. I I would have rather her just said, "Hey dog, I don't want to go with you," than make up the story. Now, can I appreciate the craftsmanship? Yeah, I can. It was a good lie. It made me believe that okay, I'm not the problem, but turns out I was the problem. And that one really hurt. and after that, I never thought I was gonna find love again. Then we got into high school. Now, in high school, I did theater. And for one of the theater, I don't know, tests you would call it or whatever, you had to go watch this play. I don't remember what the play was. I think it was Ratatouille or Matilda, one of those two. And we had to go watch it because we were doing a test on what the play was about. And the questions would only be able to be answered if you went to the play. Now, to be honest, I didn't want to go to that shit. So I was just gonna look, think about it from memory of the movie and hope that goes well. Well, the girl sitting next to me, I had a huge crush on. I mean, more than the girl I blasted all on social media. I was like, "This could be my wife, really." I mean, it would really she really could have been. But then came the day of the test, and she didn't go see it either. So she copied off of me. Now, normally when you're copying off somebody, you wanna try to at least switch up 1 or 2 things. But no, she basically said, "Well, whatever he puts down, I'm gonna put down." So obviously, the teacher notices and says, "Hey, both of you, get over here now." I'm like, "All right, bet." So we go over there, and she goes, "Huh, it's funny that both of your tests look the same. Do you wanna like, what's going on with that?" And so I could have either A, said, "Yeah, she cheated off me," or B, say I have a speech impediment, so I don't know what's going on, or C, not even said anything and just looked dumb. But instead, you wanna know what my simping ain't pimping behind did? I told her, the teacher, I said, "Yeah, it was me. I cheated off of her." And so I got a 0 for that quiz or test. Now, here's why that matters. In ninth grade, I did debate. And in order to go, I was actually very close to going to Washington. I was on the varsity debate team and everything. But it's kind of like football. You have to pass in order to go to these events. Well, because I failed this test, because I told the teacher I cheated off of the girl, I wasn't able to go to the last event. Therefore, I wasn't able to qualify for Washington. And then guess what they did? They cut debate for next year. And so I wasn't able to do it. So love cost me a trip to Washington. And it hurts to this day. Remember, if I don't leave y'all with anything, is that simping ain't pimping. And then I also had one more. Depends on what you mean by serious. It was a few months relationship with this girl. But I don't want to get too much into that. That's too sad for this episode. That might make me a little too emotional. But now let's skip to now. Now don't worry, I'm not saying that I have no game, okay? If a girl came up to me and talked to me first and was nice, I probably could handle myself. I mean, I flirted in Burlington. I'm pretty sure I could flirt anywhere. But the problem is, I don't know what's going on lately, but either every girl my age is either taken, married, or has a kid. Now, don't get me wrong, to all the single mamas and all the dads out there, y'all are great. I mean, I couldn't do what you do, at least not right now, but I'm not ready to be a dad, so obviously I can't go on a date with him. But the main way people are meeting these days are dating apps. Now, I gotta be honest, I am not dating app material. I mean, y'all aren't dumb. You see the photo, that's the first thing you see. If they see me, they're probably gonna swipe on me, and that's sad, and it'll just make me feel even more lonely. So I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. There is one thing I did try that I don't tell a lot of people I tried because I don't want them to seem like I'm desperate. I have been on Facebook dating. When I meant to make the profile, I didn't know what I was doing because it was like, what photos do I use? Do I lie and say I like matcha and reading? Or do I put what I really like and they're probably not gonna like it because it's some nerd stuff. But anyway, I tried to be a mix of fake and real. And I would get a few matches here or there, but it would never go anywhere. It'd always go to Instagram, then to the number, but we would never get to the date. Now, there are some solutions to these problems. I could probably go out more, go have a drink, go act 21, but I don't want to do that because I have a few weird dating philosophies that I think. Here's the thing. I'm not saying every girl does this, but I know a lot of girls, they only go out with guys for a free meal. And me, I'm too broke to be giving out free meals. So here, I think I have what some would call a commitment issue. I don't want to take a girl out to Chili's or to Waffle House, spend all this money on her just for her to go, you know what? I think I'm looking for something different. I don't really think, it's not you, it's me. I think right person, wrong time. I'm not trying to hear all that. And then, so not only am I out $20 or 30 with inflation or whatever, But now I look like a dummy. So that's why I think if I'm gonna go on a date with a girl, I feel like she has to pay. Now you might be thinking, well, isn't the roles reversed? I would never do that to a girl, and she should know that. Once we're talking and stuff, like she should get to know my vibe and know I wouldn't do that. But yeah, man, dating is hard. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe when I lose some more weight, which that's gonna be an episode all on its own, maybe I'll put myself out there more and do more. But for right now, I'm just gonna be single, man. Dating out here is hard. Maybe I should get on Bumble. I don't know. Women talk to you first on there, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, yeah, that's just what's going on with the love life. Nothing much. But I'm gonna wrap up this one. I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, if you wanna hear an episode on something specific or you want to be a guest or something, leave a comment, review, like, all that stuff. Otherwise, how do you expect me to know? But I'm going to wrap it up here because it's getting a little loud in the house and I'm tired and I don't want to talk anymore. So, y'all know the drill, man. Get with the program and stay random. Thank you so much for listening.